Okay, I gotta ask, was Cold Stare a pendant boss in those races?
Cold Stare was at least a crystal in Game 1. Game 2, it was green pendant.
Okay, so neither worst case scenario. We're off, there's no sword, and the first chest is the heart piece. We'll be finding out what Uncle does have very momentarily. You can always tell if he has a sword or not from him walking out the door, but other than that, there's no indication yet. I believe they are planning to work on making that a thing. Okay, that's a hammer start. That is the easiest start you can get.
Yeah, hammer's pretty standard. It does tempered sword damage. It's pretty easy to use. You just kind of have to navigate around the hitbox a little bit.
Yep, and for runners of this caliber, the hitbox of the hammer is not something that they're worried about. They've, I'm sure, had plenty and plenty of practice using it as a weapon.
Yeah, as much rando as these two have played, I'm sure they've had some Hammer Trinex, Hammer Argus.
Hammer Argus is the worst thing. Acmlm missed the door a little bit there. Just kind of walked into that statue for a moment to say hi.
You know, you so rarely, see that statue. I guess you just want to, hang out with it a little bit.
If Hyrule had a little bit more original statue designers, I would see it a bit better, but all the statues are really pretty much the same.
Well, I mean, you've also gone through this escape sequence countless of times. Like, we're in, the second, third month of this tournament. You want to do something different from time to time.
We get early blue mail, which is one of those things that is never required, but to get it right in your way like this is always kind of nice. It just makes everything easier. No luck with bomb drops so far. They both killed quite a few guards and gotten nothing from them. We get that Moon Pearl from Zelda's chest though, so that is 2/3 of Dark World access already, and we're not even all the way through Escape yet.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. All we need is that first glove upgrade.
Which, if I see some people in chat hoping for Aghanim, if you're hoping for that, the gloves pretty much either have to be in Dark World, or you gotta find the required item on the Lumberjack Ledge. Otherwise, the main two causes of it are pretty much lost by now. Man, this drop pool is awful. It's not just the lack of bombs, it's that everything that's being dropped is pretty much a green rupee.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully the rats and the snakes will be kinder to us.
We're heading into the dark part of Escape. Since this is standard mode, you get a free light cone here. If anyone's playing open mode, which the next announced tournament coming up, the Speed Gaming Live tournament, will be played under, you don't get this free light cone in Escape. You gotta do it dark if you're gonna go through it ahead of time. There's a bomb. Oh ho! It's the bow. So now with that bow, they have the option to go full clear, Eastern Palace after escape if they so choose, which wouldn't be surprising to see.
Yeah, that is an option they have available to them. They logically need a lamp, but these runners are more than comfortable with their dark rooms, I'd have to imagine.
Back of Escape has a heart piece, a map, and another heart piece, so that wasn't worth all that time farming bombs. ACMLM getting that lucky extra bomb drop. That's about a 551 escape for both of these two, which is fantastic. You're usually hoping to get around 6 minutes, and they beat that by about 10 seconds. Okay, zer0rush did a map check, I missed it. I watched it on the restream, and it was so fast that I missed it again.
I was able to catch that Eastern was a crystal. I'm not sure about the other two. I think there was one other crystal.
A little bit of divergence here. Early zer0rush is going to Houlihan, while ACMLM is getting 300 rubies in the mushroom spot, so he comes out ahead on this gambit. But yeah, Chad going with that crystal Eastern as well as wanted Hera. But doesn't seem like anyone caught that. Oh no, looks like Desert was also a crystal according to the tracker. zer0rush getting a bomb from these 50-50 bushes south of the Sacred Grove. Gonna head check race game first and then up into Kakariko.
Yeah, very interesting route from zer0rush. I think he's hoping to find a glove upgrade in Kakariko, and that way he'll be able to route in his initial Dark World check with Kakariko Village. And kind of go through Dark World through the Lost Woods portal.
That was, unless I'm mistaken, the mirror on Library. And just a bunch of money, some silver arrows, and some bombs in the back of Blind's hut, which is great for ACMLM because he doesn't have to go buy bombs until after everything. But yeah, being able to potentially jump right into Dark World is nice, plus it allowed him to get that bomb from the 50-50 bush and buy some right away. So it took out all the RNG factor of getting bombs for Kakariko.
Yeah, route like this is more common in open mode, where you're typically going to Kakariko with like less of an item set because you're not forced into escape. So it's kind of interesting to see this in standard.
Okay, and we nab a lamp out of the well, which does, combine with that bow, make Eastern Palace full clearable in logic. But we've now seen all of Kakariko, and the only thing we got of relevance were the silver arrows and the lamp. So it was pretty empty today.
Yeah, lamp is a nice safety to have, and it could be used as a fire source to lock a required item, but yeah, it's not that hype right now.
We'll have to wait till we get to Dark World. If Swamp Palace is a crystal, then these runners get the great news that boots are required. If it's not a crystal, then they might never find the boots anyway. With that first 300, zer0rush probably slightly regrets his trip to Houlihan Room. With the second 300 he's going to get in a moment here, well, then he's going to really regret it. And Acmlm listening to the seed, saying, you gave me the bow, you gave me the lamp, I'm going to Eastern, I'm not bothering with South Shore right now.
Yeah, excellent call from Acmlm. You get the crystal out of Eastern, and if it has another progression item, all the better.
The first stop here is going to be Sahasrara's hut, 3 items. A little bit of love, air capacity upgrade, and a little bit more love. So that wasn't all that exciting. At some point, the run does have to give these two some value. You know, they can't just keep going with nothing. zer0rush falling right behind ACM over to Eastern Palace here. Obviously, since he did the Houlihan Room and a little bit longer trip to Kakariko, that's about the difference they got right now. Okay, there's a first sword. That's nice to have. Now show us a cape.
Yeah, you're right. That sword is nice to have, but that may augur for that Aghanim play.
There's a lot of locations to check, and it's way too early to think that it would be Aghanim. But you get Lamp and Sword early, you always start to question it. Good old Stalfos room trick leads to a chest with the glove. Aghanim is dead. Well, I'll rephrase that a little bit. Aghanim could still be required for a lumberjack item. We haven't seen what that is yet, but we have full Dark World access, so that's pretty much dead.
Yeah, I'd imagine both runners are going to be putting off that lumberjack check until they get the boots, because at this point you can't really get that item until you have boots, so no need to actually look at that.
Yep, that's a split that kind of came up more so in this tournament than it has in the past, is whether to check Lumberjack right away or not. I feel like we've been seeing a lot less of the early Lumberjack as the brackets have gone on, but we still see it pretty often.
I think a lot of runners are more confident in their ability to read the logic and kind of follow where it wants you to go.
Acmlm is heading over to the boss room now. With the lamp, this is going to be very, very quick, especially with silver arrows. It's going to make the rest of this dungeon just comically easy for him. And we did already get all 3 items out of Eastern, so Armos only has the crystal, which also inclines me to believe that maybe Pod has something, because the bow and lamp combo didn't really lead to anything here.
Yeah, you got the power gloves, but those are pretty freely available. So, especially Pots of Crystal, I'd imagine that's going to be on these runners' minds.
Yeah, other option depending on what we find in the map check of the Dark World. It's possible that maybe the other 5-6 crystal is important and you need to get those early. But it's weird to get bow and lamp so early and have nothing, no item on Armos. It's not super common. ACM saying, I don't care about South Shore, I'm headed straight to Dark World, headed to Hype Cave. We start out with 5 rupees. We get 20 more rupees. Quake! Bomb capacity. And a mushroom. Eh.
Yeah, that's a 4 out of 10, though it's going to get downgraded if Mushroom and Quake aren't anything.
Meyer, Skull Woods, Pendants, Green in T-Rock. I'm going to try to catch the other 5-6 crystal on the restream. Oh, it's Ice Palace. So you might get your wish of that Ice Palace being important again. But that knocks some points off Hype Cave there, because the only 2 dungeons that require medallions are both pendants, so that cuts down on that value just a little bit more.
Yeah, High Cave's just a 3 out of 10 for me now, and now I'm really kind of disappointed that they got that first sword in Eastern, because this is the one pendant layout where all 4 swords could have been in Ganon's tower.
That's very true, and that would have been pretty fun to see. Would have been like a throwback to, what was it, B23, where swords were just always in GT.
I've heard tell of those days, they don't sound fun.
I thankfully started in V24, so I came in like right on the tail end of that whole set of shenanigans, which was lucky for me. And we are getting the pod play that I expected here. Acmlm is going to head in. He can full clear this dungeon right now. It is a crystal. There's no reason not to go here first.
Yeah, it kind of sits all by itself around the west side of Dark World. You might like the boots in the mirror for easier routing, but yeah, coming here first makes all the sense in the world.
I'm going to laugh when the boots are in Mini Moldorm Cave. And Pod not immediately bow locked. We have the bow, so it wouldn't matter if it was, but it's useful for kind of tracking where the logic has gone. Yeah, worth noting that with this pendant layout, you could skip the Fire Rod if there's nothing behind that lock in Skull Woods or on Trinex. If you need to do right side in GT, you can do it with the lamp. I don't know if these 2 know the bomb jump to do so, but I believe they do. I'm not 100% on that. We can also potentially skip Canis and Maria, and we can skip Flute. So there are a few items that are taken off the list of required on this one. Right side of pod has a small key and another small key. The bridge chest has a big key. Lots of keys everywhere. Everyone gets some keys.
Keys in the front side of Piles of Darkness? That's never happened.
And unfortunately for Zero, that key there means that there's a chance that there's a key in the vanilla big key chest here. Or not a key in the vanilla big key chest here. Acmlm going to show us what is in there. It's the map. Boo. But yeah, logic assures that there will be at least 4 small keys in the front part of pod, between the right side, the middle, and the left side. So getting all 4 keys means you know that vanilla big key spot could have something you want. And then it's just a matter of how do you route that in when you've done everything else in the front. Both these two headed to the back, and both going to set up the hammer yum since they have the big key already and an extra small key. It's a little bit convenient. And compass in the big chest. Should come as no surprise that 2 fantastic NMG runners both pulled off the hammer jump and made it look easy.
Yeah, really solid work from both. Very few menu buffers I noticed from either side.
Got a shovel and a blue rupee in the dark maze, so that shovel could be useful, maybe. And arrow capacity and a small key in the horseshoe room. And it is a shield here, so Harmless Hellway that Acmlm is about to go through is a small key. And now onwards to everyone's friend, Helmasaur. Zero going to take a moment to refill his health because he was getting kind of low there. Not really at a comfort level. So here's a question for you. If you get through pod, if Helmasaur doesn't have an important progression item, do you immediately make the play on that shovel?
Yeah, I think I do, because if shovel is the only thing resembling value that I get out of a dungeon, I'm going to check that one thing as soon as I can.
I agree. It's got the added benefit of the backup pod was bow locked, logically, because there were only 2 keys available if you didn't have the bow. So, logically speaking, it's also the only item they've gotten that's bow locked. And you gotta wonder, please tell me this bow meant something. Turtles gave Zero a little bit of trouble. They kept flipping back over, but he got through it. He's moving on as well. And these two are very close heading into Helmosaur. And we see both different strategies you can use for the first phase of Helmosaur here with the hammer. Acmlm holding his sword out, which gets the hammer's hitbox a little bit longer and makes it a little bit safer. Zer0rush going all-out speed worthy with the no sword and using the silver arrow on phase 2 comes out ahead.
And Helmet drops magic powder, so even more fetch quest hype.
The Palace of Darkness was definitely interested in asking if you want to go on a fetch quest today. And Zero is exactly going to check that shovel. I'm guessing he might run up to Kakariko and check the powder afterwards. Acmlm is saying, no, screw those fetch quests, I'm going to South Shore. Ah. Get a piece of heart from the dig spot, and Acmlm finds a heart container in the dam. So, you know, pretty similar. And Zer0rush is heading up here to check the powder, saying, no, this bow has to lead to something. Give me something. The dam just had 1 1/4 hearts, which is, you know, not great, like the rest of Sphere 1. And $20. So the bow was a red herring. It was just there for crystals, no progression items, just crystals.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Like, you feel that, like, half the time the bow is like what leads to your tinesmiths, but not in this seed.
And we do find the hookshot and the flippers in Mini Moldorm Cave, so finally something for these two. Well, for one of these two. There was also the third 300 rupee drop of the seed so far, so that's a thing. Single rupee and the Bombos medallion in the waterfall, which means that now Fire Rod can be optional. So I think this is going to make for some pretty major divergence for a while, because Acmlm now has access to all of Death Mountain in the Light World, east and west. Zer0rush, who does not have that, is going to be going through Village of Outcast, probably clearing out Thieves Town while he's here. And we get a first bottle from King Zora, so that is another fetch quest. Yay!
Alright, looks like ACM is going to go up to Death Mountain here, so he's going to be ignoring the chain of fetch quests for now.
Yeah, don't blame him at all. Death Mountain just opened up, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12 items for him that he can check all pretty quickly.
Yeah, it opens up all Paradox Cave, opens up Tower of Hera. Oh, hey, it's for Zero Rush.
The boots! Well, now he can go get his mirror once he's done with Thieves Town, which actually will make Death Mountain equally viable for him. Except if they get Titan's Mitts up here, he won't be able to do Hookshot Cave unless he hovers it. So let's see, out of stuff that we have found, we just need to find Titan's Mitts. And a sword.
Yeah, Titan's swords and some way to enter Desert Palace.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that. We do need the book. Or a flute and or a flute. One of the two. zer0rush just kind of chilling on half a heart. Looking for some health somewhere, not finding it. That cricket did drop a heart for him, but he had already transitioned when it dropped, and was like, oh.
Yeah, I think that's the transition kind of stuck him in before he could react.
Nothing of interest in the first two chests of Paradox Cave. We're about to see the big room now with a heart piece and ether medallions. We got all three if we need to go into any independent dungeons. Some bomb capacity, some bombs to fill that capacity, and another heart piece. Paradox Cave coming out equally bad. To people pointing out Zero with the boots, he was playing carefully with half a heart. He was trying to actually kill things to try to get hard drops. So there was nothing going on with him not using the boots because he was worried. It was all about trying to get that health back.
Yeah, even with the blue mail, I think all these enemies in Thieves Town do 1 heart of damage, so it's probably smart to play it safe. And hey, we have red mail now.
Yep, now they all do half a heart of damage. Yay! And I do believe that Blind has the last item. Blind fight is not an issue. He's only got 6 hearts, but Blind is a completely scripted fight if you know what you're doing. And Zero is someone who 100% knows what he's doing. What's that pun? I saw Cardinal something.
It was like gardeners like to spring into action.
Ah, I misread that first word and thought it was a new one. Nope, I've seen that one before, after all. Hey, it's the Master Sword! That's one item off the Go Mode list. So Zero's gonna probably go get his mirror at this point and then head over to Death Mountain, if I had to guess. First things first, C-shaped house with 3 bombs. Okay. More bombs there. Hera has been completely empty for ACMLM so far. So progression has kind of stuttered again. I'm actually in part surprised that Zero is going to do the South Dark World stuff now, instead of saving this for when he grabs the mirror, when he can lump in K45 with the Stumpy check. Also worth noting that ACMLM had a... Okay, he's gonna cut out here. That makes sense. ACMLM had a nice Moldorm fight, gets another crystal, and the key to the basement. I don't know for sure if we got both items. I know we got at least a blue rupee out of there, but looks like we did not see us headed back in. So that is a route very familiar to anyone who has run NMG, of using that spin speed there to run to the library. Just usually you're getting a book, not a mirror.
Yeah, so Zero saving quit the Sanctuary, so this is going to be Bonk Rocks, and then I imagine before Death Mountain we're going to finally see Lumberjack Cave.
I guess you're right, and there was one of the rods, I missed which.
I believe that was Fire Rod.
Aw, no awesome GT bomb jump shenanigans at the end of this race. It does make Ice Palace a little bit more tolerable, at least. And Lumberjack Cave was just a piece of heart, so Aghanim is fully and completely dead. Well, really, he's fully and completely alive and will never stop being alive, more specifically.
Yeah, I guess we just have to wait until the Aga 2 fight, I guess, before Ganon.
Titansmith's in Spiral Cave, and ACM almost saves and quit out of there. He almost did the thing. But that is just a book or a flute away from go mode. They're getting rather close. The book could be on pedestal. The flute could not. Like the ACM's map check there, just like, wait, I really have everything but away in the desert and the boot. Well, no, he needs the boots still. He hasn't found those, but he'll get them when he goes to Thieves Town, probably right after this.
Yeah, 2 of ACM's Go Mode items, they're pretty freely available over in Thieves Town.
Zero, who has to route a little bit differently, is heading to Hera before heading to East Death Mountain at all. And Super Bunny Cave was garbage. We're going to be heading into Hookshot Cave here momentarily. ₹20 in the bonk chest. Air capacity. There's the book. That is no mode. Okay, so the kind of two-part thing here. One thing is that when Zero goes over to Dark Death Mountain, I know he knows how to hover, so he could get that book while he's there. But for him, he needs to head down to South Shore at some point to get Hookshot and Flippers. And between the Mitt, the Fire Rod, the book, he's going to have so many options. I don't know when he's going to go to Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, you imagine that he might check that before Desert, but yeah, he has a lot of options in front of him all of a sudden.
Meanwhile, ACMLM is almost assuredly going to head into Thieves Town next, and he'll be in Go mode when he leaves it.
And Chad bringing up a good point. We are in Go to Ganon's Tower mode because there is still a chance that Ganon's Tower Big Key is Candace Amaria locked.
That's true, but for a Game 3, best of 32 in these brackets, you just assume Go mode without that Cane of Samaria. You may turn out wrong and it may hurt, but for practicality purposes in terms of the runner's heads, they will treat it as Go mode without the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to not full clear Swamp Palace, you take it.
Yeah, they're not going to skip chests that are right in the way without Cane, but they're not going to go out of their way for anything because you know your opponent could be skipping everything and your tournament life is on the line. You got to play the risky game if you want to be sure that you don't get caught off your feet. So, important moment will be coming up of if Zero does hover Hookshot Cave. Again, I know he can hover. I know that for a fact. But whether he will do it in this situation or not, I'm not sure of.
Yeah, I know from seeing previous races, Zero likes to be thorough when he enters an area, so it wouldn't surprise me if he at least gives it a go.
And that book was in the most annoying chest to access with hover. So, there's that. But okay, it's kind of comical to me that ACMLM went into Super Bunny Cave with the hookshot, missed the hookshot clip, and had to go the long way around. And then zer0rush goes in without the hookshot with the mirror, and misses the mirror erase and has to go the long way around. They both made the same mistake with two different items in the same spot. I enjoy that.
Yeah, the mirror miss is really surprising. I kind of just thought you just spam it and that happens.
That pretty much sums it up. And Zero is headed down out this way, will either be mirroring to check Paradox right now or doing Hookshot Cave. I'm guessing he would go to Paradox first, looking for the hookshot. We find out that TR requires Bombos, and that we are never going to have to enter T-Rock. So at this point, I don't know, I think we have to give ACM a pretty sizable advantage because he already has, by the time he's done here, he'll be in go mode. But depending on what zer0rush does next, this could be pretty much dead even.
Yeah, zer0rush, fortunately for him, doesn't have the opportunity to make a ton of crazy plays. He just has to go to South Shore, so hopefully he gets there sooner than later, which is a weird thing to say 45 minutes into a seed.
That is an unusual thing to be saying at this point in the seed, yeah.
Yeah, you know, just normal race. You have to check South Shore at 45 minutes to find go mode.
So he gets the bong chest, and he's gonna do it. Missed the first try. Speaking from experience, in tournament settings, especially ones where your attorney life is on the line, hovering is hard, and to do it in this kind of pressure is not easy either. So he's gonna give this at least a few shots. Okay, he got to the garbage chest. This next one is the important one. Get it, get it. Yay, he got the book. So now he just needs to get to South Shore, find that flippers and hookshot, and he can just start clearing out crystal dungeons. ACM checking the shovel spot on his way to get that mirror from the library. Then he's just looking at having to clear desert, swamp, and ice, all in pseudo-go mode, but that check at the dig spot tells me that he is going to be checking for that Canis Maria. zer0rush checking Ether Tablet, which ACM did not do, only gets a piece of heart. Now just go south, ACM. Straight south. Do not go east. Do not go west. Well, actually, yes, go east. No, no, not this way. Actually, what's he going into Dark World here for? Because he can't do Swamp. He doesn't have flippers. Oh, he's gonna go check Stumpy and K45, and then come back this way and do something.
Yeah, might come back this way to check Bombo's tablet and then just hop into desert.
That seems like a pretty good choice of things. ACM is heading into Swamp, will not be full clearing almost assuredly, but he's gonna check a decent amount here. Now this doesn't bode well for Zero that he is still not getting that hookshot and flippers, but if he finds the Canis and Mario with these extra overworld checks, I would almost guarantee ACM will not find it, and then if Big Key is on the right side, he would have a huge advantage. We get a cape in Swamp. Ah yeah, level 2 shield from the Bombos tab. ACM is heading into desert, so he'll miss out on a little bit of opportunity to make this potentially faster, but he might have planned to check everything anyway. It's a quick dungeon to full clear, and you're still looking for that king.
Yeah, real quick dungeon, and you know, all the chests are pretty much in your way, depending on where that big key is.
Oh yeah, chat pointing out that I said the wrong name on who was heading into desert. zer0rush is heading into desert. Acmlm is blowing through swamp at the moment. So an interesting option that I've just thought of is if the big key is on the right side of GT, and the Canis of Maria is in Ice Rod Cave.
That would be kind of rough unless they find the flute, because yeah, I can't really see a scenario in which either runner gets that far.
Hey, Acmlm found the level 2 shield, so when zer0rush goes to swamp, he can get the riot shield. That'll be useful, right?
Yeah, really useful, you know. I think zer0rush needs some help with that with the Mimic in Canis Tower.
Okay, that's a nice find in desert. If ACM doesn't check that chest, that's a nice sword advantage. I'm guessing he will check that chest, but Tempered Sword is wonderful. Very, very nice shot with the silver arrows by Acmlm. Gets 10 arrows for his troubles, and another crystal. He won't be going back in for left side. Yeah, to answer a bit of a question in chat, Acmlm has extra items because Mini Moldorm Cave has the hookshot and the flippers. The Waterfall Fairy had the Bombos Medallion. Acmlm checked all those things. zer0rush still hasn't checked anything on the South Shore. I'm guessing after Desert he'll run over that way, check the dam and the Mini Moldorm Cave on the way to Ice Palace, at which point he'll be in go mode. It's just a question of, is it enough?
Yeah, because right now Acmlm is ahead by about the Swamp Palace clear, and Swamp Palace is not a short dungeon.
Yeah, in full go mode, it's around 3 minutes. So in pseudo go mode, where you're still checking some things, a little bit longer than that. And we mentioned at the start of this that these two are very similarly leveled in NMG. So you would not expect either of them to make up much ground on the other in terms of execution. You'd expect it to maybe come down to if Kane is required and Zero stumbles on it. ACM passed on the Tempered Sword inadvertently. That's disappointing for him. No, he's gonna get it! He's gonna get it! Now, one thing here, when zer0rush finds this hookshot and these flippers, he is going to think he is a mile and a half behind, which isn't entirely inaccurate. He is going to full go mode stuff. I will almost guarantee he just goes full go mode through everything because he's going to feel like he needs to if he wants to have a chance. Yeah, ACM is pretty much ahead by exactly one Ice Palace. So chances are he's going to hold on to that lead unless he makes a very major mistake. But rando can happen sometimes.
Yeah, and worth noting, I believe their match in the Swiss rounds actually came down to an error on Ganon because ACM had to do Master Sword Ganon and kind of like flopped something there. So hopefully he's practiced. Hopefully we don't see it come down to that. But yeah, just kind of worth keeping in the back of your mind.
That is very true. I know, I remember Chad kind of wondering why he didn't use cape on that, where it was just, I'm comfortable with this and a mistake happened. So I wouldn't expect a repeat of it, but it's probably going to be in his mind if he gets to Ganon with Master Sword. Zero pulled out the bombs for a moment to check that bomb wall, and then went, no, hammer, I'm just going.
Yeah, no real need for him to check it. Cape is 100% not required at all for any reason.
Yeah, but it'll be nice for ACM if he gets to Ganon without any kind of extra sword. If he so chooses, he could use that to make it quicker. But at the same time, yeah, it'll only be required to either get into Aghanim, who's already dead, or to get the item from Bumper Cave, which I don't think we've ever seen, and we never will see. Both of these two having, well, I was about to say very smooth trips through their respective dungeons as zer0rush got bonked by that fire bar. But for the most part, pretty clean by both of them so far. There's a riot shield for zer0rush. A little bit extra lag for him. Going for the quick kill on Argus gets most of the puffs down before he loses it. That was real good. It is very hard to even get nearly that far.
Yeah, Zero Cycle Argus is one of the hardest tricks to pull off in this game, but it looks so clean when you get it.
Unfortunately, Zero was just a tiny bit too slow and had to sit through one spin cycle with all the puffs dead. But still a very quick fight, much quicker than ACM's due to having the Tempered Sword. And he's going to come out a little bit less than one full Ice Palace behind. You see him breaking the shell with Bombo, so he has some magic left to use Fire Rod on the Puffs. He is blasting away, hitting him with the sword. It takes a long time to kill Cold Stare with Master Sword, but when you use the Fire Rod, it's not bad at all. And with that, ACM got his 7th crystal. We have a little game to play, don't we?
Yeah, I believe we do. The Ganon Tower Big Key guessing game.
So there are going to be 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, one of which will have the big key. If you want this seed to go on longer, you're going to really hope that it's in numbers, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18 through 22 would be your right side. Because they don't have Samaria, they can't check it immediately. So you're waiting for that if you're hoping for the cane there and for the longer seed. Otherwise, you're looking for earlier. Where do you think, Walsh?
You know, my usual guess is 19, and while I understand what that guess would mean, I think I'm gonna go with 19.
Yeah, my usual guess is 22, so I'm not changing that. I always want it to be mean.
Yeah, especially mean. Leave Ganon's Tower so that you can eventually clear tile room.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Cold Stare had a small key, so we know Cane of Samaria can't be in GT.
Yeah, small key from Cold Stare, though I'd imagine that the runners, you know, even if it weren't with that small key, they'd find out pretty quickly that Cane of Samaria is not in GT.
True, but that, it doesn't really change anything for them, but from a viewing perspective, it's a useful thing to be aware of. zer0rush gonna be about to go into the Cold Stare fight as Acmlm enters here. So here comes the fun. Small key in chest 1, 300 rupees in chest 2. zer0rush kind of missed out on the quick kill of Cold Stare. Kind of ran into a little bit of issue with everything moving around. He gets him down. He also has 7 crystals and will be headed to GT. Four, 5, 6, and 7 down, and no big key to be found. Comes number 8, which is a piece of heart. So next up is the Fire Snake room. Zero is making his way up GT. He does have the sword advantage. That's not going to save him very long with silvers. With silverless, it would be about a minute saved, I believe. With no silver, with silvers, it's going to be less than that. Coming up, numbers 10, 11, 12, and 13. Bomb capacity, 20 bucks, 50 bucks, and compass, 13 down. There is Bob's chest and the 3 behind Ice Armos before we find out that this seed is going to be evil.
Suddenly, it's a better than 50-50 chance that we need to find the Red Cane somewhere in the overworld.
I hate to do it to these two, but I am crossing my fingers that they do not find the big key behind Bob or Ice Armos.
I mean, this is the 3rd race I've seen this weekend where both runners got to Ganon's Tower without Canis Maria. In the other 2 races, they got bailed out. I want to see that cane be required.
Well, there's Bob's chest. It's 20. It's all down to numbers 15, 16, and 17 as soon as these Ice Armos die. Will we have some fun here? 15 is a piece of art, 16 is 20 bucks, 17 is 20 bucks! A cane is required!
And now we get to play the red cane guessing game.
So there are a boatload of spots across the overworld, through Skull Woods, maybe even in Mire if we find the flute, where that cane of Samaria could be. I don't even know how many there are, so we can't really guess numbers, but this is going to be entertaining. And remember as well, both of these runners skipped items in dungeons on the way here, so they're also going to have to consider all those places they already cleared going back in. Swamp Palace, I think, had at least one item on the left side. Acmlm didn't get the stuff from Desert. No one full cleared Ice Palace. There are so many options.
Yeah, the entire world except Turtle Rock and Mystery Mire if we never find that flute. So, where do you think that cane's gonna be?
I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my hope from earlier and hope that it's an Ice Rod Cave, just because Ice Rod Cave is always important when you skip it. How about you?
I kind of want to see flute on Mothula, and then red cane somewhere in Mire.
You are a crueler man than I, but I like it.
You know, I just want to, make this last forever, I guess.
zer0rush now going through Random Room. He is getting the bad news soon, at which point, how they decide to route things here will determine who wins this now. There's no more Acmlm has a lead, there's no RNG left. No, it's all the matter of who lucks into the right location first, or who clears out everything first, depending on if anyone gets it early or not. Chat pointing out, and yes, it's absolutely good news for Zero in this situation, but he doesn't know it was good news for him. Also, yes, it was brought up in chat, worth noting, Ice Palace had a small key on Cold Stairs, so the cane cannot be on Pyramid Fairy. Obviously, it can't be in T-Rock, it cannot be on Pedestal because T-Rock is required for Pedestal, but everything else is pretty much fair game, including the rest of IP that they didn't check. So, you're in Game 3. In this top 32 round, you're against an opponent who you know is very good at this game. How do you feel when you've just cleared out all of GT and didn't find the red cane?
I don't feel great because, even if I think that I nailed all the routing, that I kind of did everything perfectly, that lead that I may be imagining that I have can be erased if I don't go to the right location first.
But you got the side concern too that, maybe your opponent found the cane before going into GT and they're going to be finishing any moment now. Maybe they made the quote-unquote wrong choice earlier and it paid off for them. So first check over here in this area. The hammer pegs are 3 bombs. We'll be getting blacksmith and purple chest afterwards for sure. Then you got a couple of main options. Skullwoods is a strong play with 2 items there. Well, that's about the best strong play. Other than that, you're dipping back into dungeons you've already done, so... And zer0rush has taken the lead on these checks over here because Acmlm had to catch up on Magic Bat that Zero did earlier. So he's going to be the one showing us what Purple Chest has. And ACM not having checked the cave south of the Haunted Grove, going to check that. We get 300 bucks from the Purple Chest. And where are you going next, Zero? Is this the play back in the swamp? He got next to no items out of there, so there aren't many. This is looking like... Yeah, he's about to go do Pyramid Fairy, which is just 100% a waste of time, because Kane can't be there.
Yeah, a bit of a minor unforced error from zer0rush's side, especially if Acmlm was paying attention to Cold Stare and knows that he won't need to check Pyramid Fairy.
Yep, I'd say this is the kind of thing that happens when you are as stressed out as I'm sure he is you kind of forget that, oh yeah, Ice Palace, Cold Stare had a small key, this can't be the answer. You just kind of go, oh, Pyramid Fairy has 2 items, that's a good place. It's kind of looking like ACM might make the same play though, so... There's the wrong Kane. To the question in chat on how IP gets Kane locked, because in vanilla it's earlier than Meyer. If Cold Stare has a small key, you can be locked out of the crystal switch room that you would normally use to solve the big roundabout puzzle to get to Cold Stare. So, with the key on Cold Stare, you need Kane of Samaria to press that switch down, because you can't guarantee drop the block down and put that on it. Okay, it's not the mushroom they got super early.
Yeah, Hype Cave officially 2 out of 10.
At this point, I gotta give it a 0 out of 10. It had nothing. Okay, here comes Catfish, everyone's dear friend in the northeast corner. Bomb capacity. So zer0rush is going to get his Bombos medallion and his bottle from Zora. And this is going to give ACM some time back on stuff that Zero skipped earlier. Trying to look through and see where we've missed overworld-wise. I don't think anyone checked Checkerboard Cave. No one has checked Ice Rod Cave. Nobody's checked Bumper Cave, I don't believe. Graveyard Ledge. I don't think we checked either. That, I think, sums up what hasn't been seen.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's like Bumper Cave, Graveyard, Ice Rock Cave, and then all those chests in Swamp and Ice.
Oh yeah, Checkerboard needs the flute. I was just looking at overall locations that we haven't checked, not stuff they actually have available right now. My bad.
And Skull Woods. We also have Skull Woods to check.
Yeah, in terms of dungeons, we got all the Skull Woods. You know, all the stuff that got skipped in Swamp and Ice. For ACMLM, the stuff that got skipped in Desert. Okay, so ACMLM is going to hookshot across the river here to go check Graveyard Ledge and Bumper Cave. I'm guessing Zero's going to do the opposite route. He's going to go to Skull Woods and then check those two locations. Oh no, I'm wrong. He's going this way first. Green Potion and Graveyard Ledge. Zero is not going to check Bumper Cave because he doesn't have Cape, which is sitting in the first real chest of Swamp Palace. ACM will be checking that soon with the Cape that he got from that chest.
I'm kind of hoping it's not here because otherwise I'll look like such a fool for saying that Cape wasn't required this seed.
Well, you got your wish. Just 20 bucks, which is a very good thing for Zero, who would have been in quite a bit of trouble if that had been the cane.
Breathing a sigh of relief right now.
And here at the 118 mark, ACMLM is dropping into Skull Woods. Gonna see if there's anything important here. Looks like Zero is headed back that way. After this, I feel like they pretty much have to start considering dipping back into dungeons they ran through earlier.
I feel like one of them might run all the way back to Ice Rock Cave before they do that, but yeah, it's kind of seeming likely that it might be stuck in Swamp or Ice.
I'm still pulling for Ice Rod Cave, but that does seem kind of like that's the more likely option is Swamp or Ice. ACMLM, zer0rush, guys, you have this little red... No, wait, you don't have this little red cane. That's the whole problem here. My bad. We've been talking about Samaria so much that I started to think that they had it. And got myself a little bit confused.
You know, it's part of the commentary. It's kind of like the main crux of what's happening right now. It's kind of part of the family. I get that.
So now we're heading up into Skull Woods back. zer0rush skipped the front, so he's going to be getting the items back here that ACMLM missed by doing the... Or that ACMLM took a longer route to doing the front first. Zero is going to have an easier time with our dear friend Mothula due to his tempered sword. Saving up some magic using the lamp. He had enough to have gotten through that using the fire rod, but playing a little bit safe in case Mothula needs knocked away from some spikes. Okay, I gotta give credit to that one maneuver of he bumped into that spike intentionally before falling down so he didn't have sword beams, so that Mothula would be sure to take full tempered damage. And Mothula drops a bottle, he's not the answer. So the big chest in Skull Woods has a second item. Depending on how Zero routes it, these two may be very, very close by the end of this. Zero taking the vanilla route to the big chest, Acmlm missing the bomb jump. Oh, it's the flute.
Not quite what I wanted, but yeah, that suffices.
Let's go, Vanilla Cane. Also, Acmlm kind of made a mental misstep there. He saved and quit out of Skull Woods. He could have just run straight down here and mirrored over to Kakariko, which is going to put zer0rush kind of right back in line with him almost.
Yeah, that's one of those errors that you make when like you're stressed out. You've doubled up Gan's tower. You're in an elimination race. Yeah, that sort of thing can happen.
To think there was a point when we thought this was going to be a Jet Seed.
How naive we were.
Well, I mean, really, to be fair, for the fact they have to double dip Ganon's tower, unless this keeps evading him for a long time, this is still going to be a pretty quick seed, all things considered. Two heart pieces in the Mire Shed. We're going to be getting a checkerboard check soon. Acmlm almost fell for it, then remembered, wait, Trinex requires Cane, all I need is Cane, why would I want the Ice Rod? Zero having the exact same reaction.
Sorry, I do kind of like that. Just both runners saying, oh hey, I finally found the ice way.
Wait a second, this is the one time where you're not the item I'm looking for. Go away! Okay, so with ACM having to make up the Agena check, Zero is the first one into Mire. Will ACM dive back into... Nope, I was going to say, will he dive back into Desert to check the other item in there before doing Mire? It appears not. Let's go for, if Kane is going to be here, let's make it the ultimate vanilla big key, vanilla red Kane. First two chests in Meyer, both small keys, both not super important, since you don't actually need any small keys from chests to clear Meyer entirely. There's the map, and I believe that's its vanilla location. And the compass. So back to vanilla big key spot for him. No, he's going to go around and check this chest over here. Okay, if Kane is here, it's gotta be vanilla big key, vanilla Kane of Samaria. Here's hoping.
Yeah, completely vanilla, and this cutscene is only going to add to the tension.
And Acmlm is routing different. Oh, he forgot to flip the switch. Whoops. Yeah, ACM going straight to the vanilla big key spot, so he's saving back a little bit of the time here. And my ultimate dream of the Cane of Samaria in Sphere 1 and Ice Rod Cave is still alive until this big chest gets opened.
I'm waiting for this check with bated breath.
Yeah, words are getting a little bit hard at this point. It's not in Meyer. So it's either somewhere in Ice Palace, somewhere in Swamp Palace, or in Ice Rod Cave. Zero, why would you check this before Ice Rod Cave? It's so much faster to check Ice Rod Cave. Okay, now he's thinking for a moment. He's gonna go check Hobo first. I like that. ACMLM is gonna get his Tempered Sword.
Yeah, no need to do anything crazy, Zero. You have two pretty easy checks in front of you.
I think that little bit of a pause before making the choice on Ice Palace or going to check Hobo here is a good indicator of the mental state of these two right now. Just, I need a second to think.
I know you're in a race, but it's kind of valuable to just like take a few seconds, calm down, breathe, and just think of where you want to go next.
Okay, come on. Come on, Kane. Be here. I really want this to be the answer. Well, I mean, it's a nice to have. It's not the cane, but... And now into Ice Palace, which I believe has more unseen items than Swamp. Obviously for Zero, he left both of them completely uncleared. But we saw a few of Swamp items out of ACM.
Yeah, we saw a few in Swamp, and I think we even saw a few in Ice from ACM. I think you checked the first Pengator room, I think the mini Freezor room.
Yeah, I want to say we only saw one of the 3 items, so the rest was dungeon stuff. I gotta say, whoever wins this race so deserves to make it to the top 16 solely on mental fortitude of not just falling apart on this seed. They've both made some mental mistakes since all this started going down, but they're both still playing fantastically.
Yeah, indeed. And, you know, if you're in chat and you haven't done so already, give these runners a follow. They're putting themselves through whatever this is for you, so...
And ACM is also making the play into Ice. If it's here, this is going to be a real close race yet again. I think this might be the craziest seed I have ever had the pleasure of commentating.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, this is up there for me, yeah. Oh, man.
Okay, this is pretty much the moment of truth. This is the main stuff that wasn't checked by ACM. We get the big key, that lets him check the big chest later. Doesn't really matter for now. Now, if Kane ends up being in Swamp, ACM is going to have a lot less to look at. He's just going to have to check left side. Zero will have to check. There it is!
So, at long last, hour 30, zer0rush is in go mode, and we're going back to Ganon's Tower and completing the big key guessing game.
Although we're gonna have to wait to actually get the number on the game because we're basing it off of Acmlm, and since he was the first one into GT, he might check things in a different order. So let's see, with all these chests in the middle added in, it'll be what, chest number like 72?
Yeah, 70. That could be right, because we full cleared Swamp Palace, we full cleared what was available to us in Mire.
So now we gotta hope that it's an tile room, right?
You know, I think we do. I think we want to maximize the amount of time that we're spending, you know, with the seed, as a chat, as a family. You know, let's go for tile room.
So ACM in go mode a little bit over a minute later, I believe. And he's now going to have to hope for Zero to make a mistake instead of earlier when they first went to GT and Zero had to hope for ACM to make a mistake. I don't know though, this may be the one kind of seed where the tile room gamble isn't insane, it's just, I gotta go for it.
Yeah, now it's just a 1 in 5, and, you know, Acmlm would actually pull him even if I'm timing this out correctly.
Yeah, just about. And missed a fire rod shot there, but gets through the door with no problem. There's still a good amount of time left before that closed. Zero doing this the quote-unquote intended way of using bombs, but used all his bombs. There it is. First chest of the compass room. Zero mirrors. He's got his one key. And we are finally, 30 minutes later, headed to the gauntlet. Execution, pretty good so far for Zero, although he missed that 4 bomb drop, and he is going to need bombs before the gauntlet is done. But this is, at this point, this is easier than what they deal with in NMG routinely. They're not going to have issues with this, even if they are a bit tilted.
Yeah, though I think we just saw Acmlm barely miss the entry, or maybe he forgot. Oof.
Now, this the right side is not part of NMG, so that's a little bit more understandable, but that hurts. That's going to give Zero a little bit more breathing room, although he doesn't know he's got it. Okay, and with chest number 18, Acmlm gets the big key, and that's it for the game. So, shoutouts to our long-awaited winner, Silverfire, who guessed number 18 about 35 minutes ago.
Yeah, congratulations on winning one of the longer guessing games in Randomizer tournament history.
Zero got knocked by that fire bar there. Should still have plenty of time. Probably gonna go pick up this magic and wait out the despawn possibility. There is a bomb in this room under a pot, so there's no need to worry about Zero. He's gonna get his bomb.
Even made the throw, nothing to worry about anymore.
Now, if he had missed that throw, then there would have been some concern.
Oh, yeah.
Kills Moldorm. He's got Butter Sword, not taking any risk with the hover strats. He wants to play safe. And we're on to everyone's favorite geometry test, Acmlm 2. That was the friendliest lineup. Three, 1, 2, a 2-cycle, the best you could have gotten with those patterns because of that blue ball. And Zero is on to Ganon, barring any major miscues with Butter and Silvers. He will be taking this race.
I have to say it would take a lot happening to get Zero Rush off this perch right now.
I mean, one fall would be enough to make it real close, but with Butter and Silvers, it's a very easy fight. And that should be just about enough hits to get through phase 2. I think that first of those two was the last one he needed. And on to phase 3. And the last chest in the game is a vanilla $20. Gets the double, misses the swing there. Otherwise, that would have been a back-to-back double. And that is it for Ganon. If he doesn't fall off here, which can happen. And GG's to Zero Rush. Finishing with an official Speed Racing TV time of 1:42.29.
Yeah, GG Zero Rush, an absolutely great race. And Acmlm about to start the Ganon fight, kept it very close. But, oh man, what a seed.
Yep, I expected a fantastic race from these two. I didn't expect the ridiculous thing that we just got, but it was every bit as hype as I thought it was going to be. ACM now dealing with his Butter Sword Ganon on phase 3 already, should be done here shortly. To answer a question in chat, they skipped items in Crystallized Palace because they had a 17 of 22 chance that the cane was not required. And there was also a chance that at that point it could have been in GT itself. So they had room to skip some stuff, and that's what they did. Unfortunately, this is the time when they lost that 17 out of 22 chance.
And now again, like I brought up, like there were two other races this weekend where both races went to Ganon Tower without the Ganon Samaria. Both of them got bailed out. This is just not the seed for that.
And GG's to Acmlm as well, finishing exactly 2 minutes behind Zero Rush at 1:44.29. You know these two are well matched when they can go through that ridiculousness they just did and finish 2 minutes apart. That is a sign of two very, very well matched players.
Absolutely. GG to both of them. This was a fantastic watch.
And we do have Zero Rush in the waiting room. He should be joining us here shortly. I know Acmlm doesn't usually join on the comms for interviews. He might end up in chat, though. And here he is, our winner, Zero Rush. GG to you, sir.
GG's. How's it going?
Not bad. You guys put on an outstanding show for us.
Yeah, it seems that way. I would have loved watching the C2, but playing it was not fun.
Yeah, I'd imagine it wasn't. How about that mini Moldorm cave? How did that make you feel?
Honestly, I kind of felt pretty good at the time because I assumed that ACM would have checked that early and would have led him to full clear swamp and ice palace potentially. But from what I'm seeing, that's not the case, and he actually beat me to Ganon's tower by like several minutes, so I kind of feel bad. And then 30 some 40-ish minutes of searching for Samaria.
Yeah, he did go to Mini Moldorm relatively early. He still delayed it quite a bit. But he went up to Death Mountain after that, got his Titans mid, so when he went to Thieves Town, Village of Outcasts, he got everything needed to complete the game, assuming that the big key wasn't on the right side.
Yeah, I'm just glad that at least he seemed to have taken the same decisions I did afterwards. I guess we both assumed that that if Red Cane was in a crystal dungeon, we lost, and so we avoided them like the plague. I'm just glad I decided to go to Ice Palace and not Swamp.
Yeah, ACM had a little bit easier decision on that. He had spent some time checking chests while going through Swamp and Ice during the trip there. He was a little bit less straight go mode than you. So he would have had less to gain from going to Swamp, so Ice was kind of a given for him. For you, Swamp definitely had more options.
Yeah, I was kind of kicking myself afterwards. Like, I really should have checked the chests on the way, like the two south of Waterfall Room and Swamp, and at least the Freezor Room and Ice Palace. Like, there's kind of really no reason for me to skip those. They take like 10 seconds. But the cane wasn't there anyway, so I guess I technically saved time.
We were worried about Bumper Cave on your behalf because the cape was the first chest of Swamp Palace. ACM got that, so
I didn't
check.
even check that location. Not once did I go and look at Bumper Cave because I didn't have cape.
If there were a couple of fun moments of this, I think one of my favorites was when you two both went to Super Bunny Cave. ACM went there first, tried to hookshot through the block, missed it, had to go the long way. You went there second, tried to mirror the block, missed it, had to go the long way. It was just within like 3 minutes, you guys both made that mistake and had to do the same thing.
Yeah, that honestly, I blame this entire seed on that book being in Hookshot Cave because that was what allowed go mode, pseudo go mode, I guess. It's because it gave you access to desert, and Flute was in Swamp Palace, but if Book wasn't there, I think we would have definitely full cleared Swamp and Ice, and then it would have never been an issue.
Yeah, for sure. That hover through Hookshot Cave looked like it was going to be the thing that, got you back in the game because ACM had a lead by that point. But if you hadn't gotten that book, you might have actually ended up finishing significantly faster.
Yeah, because I don't think I went back up there at any point. Although that would have probably been the first thing I checked anyway. After doing overworld stuff, I don't think I would have gone into Skull Woods before Hookshot Cave, but maybe, who knows. Either way, I mean, sometimes you're just a victim of these seeds and they take you wherever they want to.
Yeah, I've definitely been there before. So with that win, you're moving into the top 16 with a little known opponent named Andy. How do you feel?
I don't know. I mean, certainly not any worse than playing against ACM. They're both very, very good. Like back when the weeklies were going on with like 80, 90 people, those two were always, top 5, top 10, 90% of the time. So it'll be just as hard as this was, I guess, but just need some of that good old rando luck.
I was going to say, by this point in the tournament, there are no easy matchups left. Everyone is going to be a nightmare to face. So...
Yep. Yeah, honestly, with the level of skill of the remaining people, I think a lot of it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes and who makes the better guesses sometimes. Like, some seeds are straightforward, but some seeds are literally a guessing game. And I anticipate a lot of that, but that's why I enjoy the best of 3. The last tournaments were single elimination, so you could kind of get ruined by just a bad trolley seed, so it should be fun.
I'm certainly looking forward to all the matches of top 16 that have come out so far.
Yeah, I'm just going to take a break for like a week. So that'll be good. I don't have to stress about game 3 for like 4 days.
Yeah, that's a nice plus. Very nice plus. Game 3s are not the easiest thing to deal with.
And after a seed like this, I would want to break a lot too.
Yeah, but I mean, good games to ACM. Like I said, he would have for sure beaten me. I had big keybit on left side, so it's just unfortunate that we had to trudge through the rest of the seed for 40 minutes. But at least we kept it close, only a 2-minute difference. And that was with him messing up the torches twice on the right side, so it probably would have been more like a minute difference or less.
Yep, an interesting note on the end screens here. Acmlm actually had 14 more locations checked than you. So your routing was a little bit better, and that's probably the difference maker there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else he checked that I didn't. So that's kind of weird. At least 14 locations worth it. Anyway. Pretty sure I did I full cleared 5 of the crystal dungeons, did all of the overworld. Unless I'm forgetting something. Did Pyramid Fairy, Zora, Catfish Smiths.
Yeah, I know a good chunk of those are probably from Swamp Palace, but where the rest of them come from, not sure.
And maybe just a couple pickups of freestanding items that you didn't make.
Yeah. I tried out a new route at the beginning of the game too. It worked out pretty nicely. Because the last 2 games I played, I had to take the Walk of Shame down to the bomb shop. And so this time I did the fake flipper into South route to get a bomb for a race game. And skipped the lumberjack check. I kind of enjoyed that. It seems to work very well when you don't have bombs for a village or money.
Yeah, it was a rare seed where you would have gotten bombs and blindside anyway, but it's definitely a very reliable start.
Yeah, I don't like going into the huts without bombs and praying. It just seems like a good way to lose yourself 40 seconds.
So do you have anything to add, Walsh?
Not really, no. GD to 0, GD to ACMLM in chat. Yeah, I will let you wrap this up.
Sounds good. So, first of all, these two put on a fantastic show. There was a bit of good old rando being rando that kind of ended up being the end of the match, but they both played fantastically. If you haven't already, give these two a follow. They're both extremely good at this game. Also, shout outs to our tracker for the day, Raspberry Floof, who kept us up to date on a couple things that I know I missed at least when map checks were done, etc. Helped out quite a bit there. As well as, if you want to see more of this and other tournaments, give follows to Speed Gaming 2 through 6, the French, German, and Spanish restreams that have started. If you are a native speaker of one of those languages and want to hear some commentary in your own language, and yeah, also the A Link to the Past Randomizer channels, which are not getting as much action these days as there are less matches, but still do cover a few of them. Other than that, though, yeah, I have been Mentos Man 8. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.